What's good? It's your boy, Trouble T. Roy. Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk. Back with another one. And it goes. So, crazy weekend. I didn't get to see many of the fights this weekend because I've been working, like always. Saturdays, Fridays, Sundays. Working. I'm at work right now. But anyways, yeah, man, I've seen the results for a couple of fights. I gotta go back and watch some more of this stuff when I get off tonight or on my day off tomorrow. But I guess the main thing I wanted to talk about right now is Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. The results for that. Big upset. Big upset. I know a lot of people had Tszyu winning, as well as I myself did, but you know, just looking at the situation, bad cut on his head, I believe, on his forehead or something from an elbow. That changed the whole game. The whole game plan was pretty much kind of taken thrown out the window because of that cut. Man was bleeding like crazy. Not sure if his cut man is no good, maybe not experienced, or it was just that bad of a cut. I mean, I only got to see the highlights, but I mean, from what I saw, it looked pretty bad. He was really focused on that cut. He could concentrate on his opponent in Fundora. So, unfortunately, that was a real big upset. I mean, things happen though. It's boxing, you know. I don't think he's done. It was just unfortunate how it had to go down, because I believe that Tszyu still has, I believe he had and still has the ability to beat Fundora. But Fundora did fight probably the best fight I've seen him fight since I've been watching him. I think this has been his best fight, and he did what he needed to do, and he used that cut that Tim had. He used that to his advantage, snapping that jab. You know, that right hand jab, just snapping it at him. You know, and not really snapping, but, you know, just using it to gauge distance, you know, like he's supposed to. This is what we kind of been asking for from Sebastian for a long time. Like, use your size, use the length, you know. Use that to your advantage. That's what we've been trying to say to him. I don't know if he's heard anybody, but he must have started listening to somebody. I don't know if his corner, his team started telling, hey, you got all this advantage. You're 6'5", I believe. I think about, 6 inches taller than Tszyu, something like that. The size difference was crazy. You look at them standing next to each other, standing face to face, it's crazy. But, you know, all in all, I don't take nothing away from Sebastian Fundora. He did an excellent job. He did what he had to do. I don't take that away from Tszyu. He did what he could with the setback. He's still hung in there for 12 rounds. I think he got the cut in the 3rd round, I believe it was. Like I said, from an elbow, but he stood in there for the next 9 rounds or whatever, and just kept on going. He just kept doing what he could. He did what he could, but that cut was very bothersome to him. We could tell, because he wasn't able to. I'm sure he couldn't see very well, so there's no way you're gonna gauge Fundora's right hand jabs if you can't see. Ain't no way you could do anything about that, really. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, man, congratulations to Sebastian. Now the WBC and WBA?
I'm stupid.
Champion? I believe that's the champion. Yeah, two of the belts. I forget which ones. But yeah, so congratulations to him for that. So, I mean, I guess another topic is what's next for Sebastian Fundora. And from what I understand, they're saying Spence next. A lot of people are pretty upset about that. I mean, I can't say that I blame anybody for being upset, But at the same time, I'm not upset. I'm like whatever about it, because you gotta think about it. This is PBC. This is the way they've been moving for years, and they're gonna continue moving like that. A lot of people said, and I agree. A lot of people saying that, you know, Terrence Crawford should be up next in line. He should be up next for one of those belts, I guess, you know. But I mean, was it WBC and WBO? Yeah, I believe it's a
Well, I'm a dumbass, baby. I'm stupid. Right on.
Yo, because that's, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of people are saying that they feel like Terrence Crawford should be next in line, like right away and everything. But like I said, you gotta think about it. We're dealing with the PBC, and we know how the PBC moves. They keep everything as in-house as possible. The only time they go and say, you know what, we're gonna have to just take a chance and go across the street ourselves, or have somebody cross the street over to us, is when they have to, basically, you know. So I'm not mad at the PBC for doing what they're doing. I'm really not. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad, because it's not anything that I wouldn't have expected from any of their fighters, any of their champions, for them to keep them in the ring with their own PBC in-house fighters. It's just the way it is. That's just the way they move. You know, at this point, it's kind of like, what's the point of being upset about it? Ain't like, what is there to be surprised about? And unfortunately, Crawford didn't decide to stay with the PBC, which is not unfortunate to me, but it's just one of those things. Like, you know what? All of a sudden, Spence is back and he's ready to fight you know, and do all this shit. They're acting like he's 100% back and better than ever, all this stuff, and you know, making this big deal about him returning. And yeah, the way he said, he don't wait in lines. That's what he said himself. And you know why? It's because Al Heyman got him. Al Heyman's gonna make sure he pushes him into the front line. You know, Al Heyman, he's the he's the principal at the school, and he's looking when Earl Spence cuts, Al Heyman looks the other way. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the other kids mad and shit, but you know, Earl Spence, he's the chosen one for PBC right now. So of course Al Heyman gonna say, hey, you know, he got it. You know, so yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're an old school boxing fan like I am, or just a real boxing fan like I am, of course we want the winners to fight the winners, not the winners to fight the losers. You know, but this is PBC that we're dealing with once again. It is what it is. You know, I just find it funny. It's like they haven't learned their lesson. PBC hasn't learned their lesson with Fulton, with Wilder, and with Spence. Sooner or later, they gotta go outside. They gotta go across the street themselves. Sooner or later. And what happens every time they go and fight somebody out of another promotion? They get their ass whooped. That's what happens. So that's why I'm not mad either. I mean, I'm not saying Spence is going to get his ass whooped by anybody anytime soon outside of the PBC, but I'm just saying this is kind of, you know, history has shown that them protecting their fighters the way they have, this just shows that, like, you know, it's almost like they understand, like, okay, we're going to keep everything as in-house as possible, get all the money in-house as much as possible until we have no choice but to step across the street. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody steps over here across the street to us. Until there's no other choices. Because that's basically what it came down to for every fighter that's lost to a top-ranked fighter or a matchroom fighter from the PBC. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the same thing. They gonna keep rolling, pushing this cart down this side of the road until they run out of road to push it down. They gotta go to the other side. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what they got next for Crawford. We'll see if this Sebastian Fundora fight with Spence happens. I know they said Fundora and Tszyu came to a verbal agreement for a rematch, but obviously that doesn't mean it has to be right away. They didn't say it has to be right away, so they might push the rematch back to like next year or something, depending on what happens with Fundora and Spence or whatever Fundora decides to do next. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But all in all, some good fights this weekend. I got a lot to catch up on. I'll be off tomorrow, so I'll be able to watch some highlights, or even if I can find some of the fights on YouTube or something like that, go back and watch some of those. I definitely was not going to pay for the PBC card, but I was going to watch it somehow. But I had to work anyway, so it really didn't matter. But yeah, that was a surprise to see Tszyu lose the way he did. It was kind of messed up. It kind of sucked, but I think he's going to bounce right back. I see people calling Tszyu a hype job now all of a sudden. That's another thing about this sport that I can't stand, especially these new age motherfuckers. You new niggas. You new motherfuckers who don't know shit about boxing in the first place, but always got something to say about somebody. Don't even watch boxing probably. Probably ain't never paid for a card. Probably ain't never been to a fight. But as soon as a motherfucker, there's always motherfuckers in America too. I always see that shit with people in America, American boxing fans. As soon as a man takes one loss, oh, see, I told you he was a hype job. Oh, he lost to Fundora. He a hype job. Like, you're not a real fucking boxing fan. Guarantee you, name a fighter that you claim is your all-time favorite fighter. And tell me how many losses he got. And don't say Mayweather, because most of you motherfuckers ain't really Mayweather fans anyways. You know what I'm saying? Name your favorite fighter and tell me how many losses he got. And then tell me if he was a hype job. Because that shit is bullshit. It's just fucking annoying. It makes it hard for me to want to talk to certain people or certain quote-unquote boxing fans, because it's always as soon as somebody loses, see, I told you he was a hype job, ha, womp, 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 blah, blah. Like, shut up, man. Just stop watching boxing if that's what you're going to do every time somebody loses, especially if they ain't from America. Because always American boxing fans or quote-unquote boxing fans saying dumb shit like that. I mean, I don't live out in the UK or in Japan or wherever, Mexico or anything like that. I don't live there, so I don't know what they be saying out there, but I know what you motherfuckers in the United States of America like to say. I know what you motherfuckers like to say. And it's always dumb shit like that. Boxers win and boxers lose. It happens. The greatest, all the greatest have taken a loss, basically. You know? Like, get out of here. You couldn't even call them the greatest if they didn't take a loss, because 9 times out of 10, what makes you great is not you winning every fight, because every fight could be against dog shit fighters. But as soon as you really step into a motherfucking lion's den and you get in there with a real one, you might take a loss. How you gonna bounce back though? That's what makes you great. The bounce back makes you greater than winning every fight, in my opinion. There's not one fighter that I look up to that didn't take a loss, but still isn't known as a great. You know? So, I swear, American boxing fans are the shittiest fans of all sports, in my opinion. That's all I'm gonna say. You know? That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, we'll leave it there. Let me know what y'all think about what y'all thought about that fight. What y'all think about Spence being the next opponent for Sebastian. And yeah, just check in with me, comment, like, subscribe, share, and all that good shit. It's your boy Trouble T Roy. Hit, don't get hit, boxing talk. Peace.